some like you are getting the answer. So it is like the company paid half, so that means like 50% was the dividend payout ratio in the last year. So 1 by 2 was the last year's dividend. Earnings increased by 20%. So this is what dividend payout ratio means. Dividend payout ratio, right? Equal to dividend earnings divided by, no, what is the dividend payout ratio means? Dividend payout, dividend per share divided by, or dividend divided by earnings. Dividend per share divided by earnings per share is same as dividend divided by earnings, right? Because the denominator is same for numerator and denominator in the per share computation. So here it is given as 1.2. Now it is given that the earnings is increased by 20%. So the new number will be, if this is 2, this will be 1.2. And dividend is increased by 15% in the current year. So it is 1.15 multiplied by that. What is the new number? 1.15 divided by 2 into 1.2. First you find out. That is 2.4. So 1.145 divided by 2 point, how much is it? You have to do like this. 2 into 1.2 is 2.4. Put it in memory. Then 1.15 divided by memory recall will give you 0.479. Right? That is nothing but 47.9%. So C is the answer. Most of you got the answer. Next question. Question number 18. With the expectation that the dividend will grow 5% perpetually, what will be the market's required return on investment for the common stock? When I explain you the sustainable growth ratio, I give you a formula also. You can use that. But this question per se, it is there in another study unit. There you will have better clarity on this. But I had covered this in the class. Let me give you a poll. me see and how many of you have done the answer. Yeah, most of you got the answer. The answer is D, correct? Other than D, like all of you got the answer. Subin got it wrong, and one having given the answer. Subin got it wrong. Okay, listen, Subin. I don't know who hasn't given the answer, but let when I was explaining you the valuation of a perpetuity concept, I was telling you that, but this portion, this formula, this is a very simple question once you know the share Gordon growth formula. This thing, I mean, that's there in the valuation of the shares. So there you have a formula that value of a share, current market price of a share, how much you will be willing to give. That would be the present value of the future dividend. If you are going to get a stream of, say, a constant dividend, that divided by the cost of equity, that would be the price of the share. Like I think I told you that some of you are getting a constant amount of money from the bank every time, right? Say that you are getting $1,000 every year, and you know that the banks pay for long-term investments 10% mark rate, right? You know that bank pays 10% as the rate of return on a long-term investment, and your grandma had deposited this money in the bank, and you are getting every year $1,000, or a share is giving you $1,000 forever. What is the value of that share? Obviously, if the grandma had deposited 1000 divided by zero point 0.1, that is 10,000, then every year 10% of that is 1000. So you are getting it. So 1000 divided by 10% is 10,000. That's the value. So if you are getting a dividend, you are expecting a dividend, constant stream of dividend, and if you are having a cost of equity of KE, if then the value of the share will be D divided by KE. But here the problem is you are not going to get $1,000 every year. You are going to get $1,000 next year, and every year 5% growth. You know, like when you set up an endowment, you can set it up in two ways. One, every year people will be getting the same price money. So how much deposit you need to make? If they have to get the same price money, then what is that price money divided by that rate what the bank is giving? If you keep that, that is good enough, right? But that price money will lose the attraction after some time, because the same amount after 20 years will be worthless, right? So you attach a inflation index to that, assume that it is growing 5%. I mean, you have to really grow the price money at 5% annually. Then all what you need to do is, like, if this is the dividend next year, then KE minus what is that growth. This is a formula. I can even give you the derivation for it, and we will get into this concepts of time value of money just as the first class of the investment decision. When I take it, I will go through it. That time it will be clear. But now for the time being, you just understand that you have a formula like this. If you have a perpetual stream growing at a G rate, then how much is the dividend next year divided by KE minus G? This is the formula. This is from the present value of money concept. This is a valuation formula, valuation of shares, popularized by Myron Gordon. This formula is called Gordon growth formula or dividend growth formula. So you can just put that these given numbers, you will get it, but you have to conceptually understand it. That I will be covering the present value portion when I take the investment decision portion for you. Thomas Matthew will be covering the same formula when he is taking the valuation for you, share valuation for you. So here it is given that currently it is selling at 80. So that is the present value of the future stream of dividend. So next year you are going to get $4 as dividend. So KE is what they are asking you to find out. 5% is the growth you are having. So solve this for KE, you will get the answer. So KE minus G is equal to 4 divided by 80. So KE is equal to 4 divided by 80 plus G. 4 divided by 80 is 0.05 plus 0.05 is the growth. So it is 0.1. 10% is the answer. People who are familiar with this kind of computation, the Gordon growth formulas, another form is also there in their mind all the time. So for them it is a very simple question. K is equal to D1 divided by P0 plus G. D1 is 4, that is the next year's expected dividend, divided by market price per share divided by 80, that is 0.05 plus 0.05 is the growth, that is also listed. So this formula is nothing but a derivation of KE from this formula, but still it is a form which people memorize, right? That is it. Next question. A corporation computed the following items from its financial records for the year. What is the dividend yield? That is a simple question. What is dividend yield? Dividend divided by market price. But you are given price earning ratio, payout ratio, asset turnover ratio, whatever you need to find out dividend payout, you can find it out. See whether you can do it or not. Give your answer in the class conversation. Okay, Sami got the answer.